Alright. How many times did I say that? Okay. Week 14. 14, 15, 16. 3 left. Day 37. Not real relevant. But anyway. Introduction to computers. First thing we did, we reviewed levels of management. We talked about first line, middle, and top, and how that relates to level of information. We have transactional information. That information moves data in and out of our tables. Some tables are more static, some are more fluid. Okay, and then we take from this database and we manipulate the data into information that is valuable to a certain level of management. And typically, as we go to the top, we have less data for strategic decisions for top level management. They're not concerned about the specific movies rented at Redbox today, but they might want to know if there's a certain type of movie that's being rented and a certain number of movies that aren't being returned and how that's all working. So, first line, like at Walmart, they're just concerned that they have workers in a certain area to get the job done. They have the right checkout people, and that the checkout, that this is accurate, the transactions that are occurring. Okay, so then you get some whoops, looks like I went back. Okay, I forgot to mention decisions structured and non-structured. Technology, not so much, more like humans. Okay, so let me see. And then I forgot to mention there we talked about decisions. Strategic versus, decisions at the strategic level, and whether those decisions eventually become structured, that a computer can make, or non-structured, a computer can't make. Alright, next we talked about top-down design and bottom-up design. Okay, top-down we analyze and make sure we have everything right as we build it. Bottom-up we create a prototype, we kind of grab this information, create a prototype, and then build from there and build the system up. Some things lend themselves to top-down design, some because of the speed and how fast you can develop a product or whatever you're developing, an information system. Prototyping is a better way to do it. Software can be designed this way if it's for complex systems like air traffic control, monitoring patients in a hospital, transit system, power grid, lots of stuff. The braking system in a car, airbags working in a car, stuff that has to work and you can't have it close. Okay? And some design, like some information systems in general, can be designed, or a new app, or some new gadget on your phone can be designed bottom up. Okay, so let's talk just about a few of the specifics. Investigate the problem, and then investigation is, why are you going to do? You have a new app you want? Do you have a certain system that doesn't work as well as it should, or we have new technology that can make the system work better? And then you analyze it. You do lots of steps. And this little line here, we call that feedback. Still going? All right. And so we're talking about analysis, and we get feedback. And so we make sure we understand the problem, what we're trying to do, then we design a solution, and we get feedback. Okay, it's the same thing here. We design and then get feedback in order to get the right design. It's like building. If you're going to build a house, you analyze, you're going to build a house, how big, how much it costs, and all that stuff. And then you can start designing blueprints and and so forth. And then for a business, this becomes really important. Are you going to get a return on your investment? Okay, you want to decide that before you start building, because here we start building. You know, that's pretty hard to back out. Are you going to buy software? Are you going to make software? Making software is way more expensive, but it might build a competitive advantage. And here even there's a lot of feedback. Make sure you get it right. Implement, we talked about, in some cases software or new implementation like barcode scanning. When stores decide to go to barcode scanning, they might have implemented it in one store, kind of like a pilot, and then worked it into the other stores. Sometimes people phase in certain parts of the information. And in some cases, you just have to do a direct switch over from one to the other. And lastly, it's very important to evaluate. Make sure it's working. All right. I mean, I don't mean to emphasize this. This is really important. Okay? This is where software, you know, you get an update or a patch or whatever. And a lot of times, in the big picture, this then would lead back up into here. It's a cycle, because all of a sudden you say, well, we got to make these changes. So we analyze them, design the change, develop the change, implement the change, and then make sure the change works. We got to keep moving. All right, we did we did a little work here with some tables. So let me talk through this briefly. We did, at the beginning of class, I'll mention this right now, we talked about net neutrality, FCC, and the FTC. Two key parts of net neutrality. You know, everybody's access to the internet should be equal. The ISPs and those tier 1 providers can't decide that one group, this group here gets good access and this group gets lousy access. Yeah, we'll talk more about that as we go along. And let's look at some database tables here. I did an example of school. In school you have students, student ID, and then all this information about student. We refer to this students would be an entity. Okay, and all of these fields would directly relate to a student entity. All right, then we may have a table with just faculty members, have that all separate. So that's an entity, faculty is an entity, and then we have a faculty ID, a name, and so forth. So we have all these fields, and then we have records. Courses, let me use a different color here. Courses, course ID, BCA-101. It's a little more specific than that, but all this information about the course. And then we have records, or we could have, I don't know, however many courses we have at NIACC. And then this term, we could list which courses are being offered, and you literally could list the instructor and which student is taking the course. Or the instructor could be listed down here for a course too. But anyway, we build a relational database. Okay, so we have this record, this piece of data represented here, we have this piece of data represented here, and so forth. Till the end of the term. Oh yeah, we did some work on the whoops. We did some work on the assignment, and actually not much on the assignment, and then we started the group work. Okay. And that is it for today.